I'm Charming Baker. I'm an artist, primarily a painter, and I live and work in London. I tend not to work 9 to 5. What I tend to do is I'm always thinking about paintings and I write stuff down and I draw and I collect reference, I take photos. But what I tend to do is I'll book a show and work solidly for 3 months, almost do nothing else for that time and build that body of work and then have a break and book the next one in. I'm good with a deadline. I used to paint on a lot of old wood that I found, and sometimes it was marked and I like the marks. So now I manipulate the marks on the surfaces that I work onto. And I found this perforated metal sheeting firm in Warrington. And there's a lovely woman who works there who let me go into their warehouses and choose all these pieces of metal. So some have been sent over from Denmark just so I can do the back end of a horse, which I find quite funny. Paintings are built up with paint, I suppose that's a formula, but mostly I have an idea and then I work out the best way to go about answering that idea. They all end up being produced quite differently, I find. I'm still obsessed with patterns. Sometimes I put patterns on first and work with them and get rid of them. Sometimes I keep them, sometimes I just put them on afterwards. I don't feel like there's one formula. If something isn't working, I'll wipe it off, paint over it. I suppose that's one thing that I always do. I don't tend to keep a lot of stuff. I've always been obsessed with pictures, photographs. Reference for me is manna from heaven. And I'm a bit fascinated with the internet, and I have been for a few years. I love the idea that it's this window on a strange world. And so I do source a lot of images for ideas that I have for paintings from the internet, because sometimes I like the idea that they're somebody else's thoughts. An image, a photo that was taken of a cat for one reason I will use for another, has a different purpose, has a different life. And I like that idea.